right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Quiver Podcast. Tonight we have a very special guest. So we'd like to welcome Patrice, who's obviously our courtside reporter, into the show today. Patrice, yeah, maybe say hi to our listeners.
Hi, everybody. Good evening, and thank you for having me, guys.
All right, thank you so much. And tonight I'm also joined by Brian
Hi everyone.
Hi, tita.
and Vic.
Malapit na.
All
Yes.
Tita who?
right.
Tita Pre,
Tita who?
malapit na, please.
Tawag naman ng
Yeah,
porter
baka
dyan.
kailangan mo ng porterhouse. Porterhouse.
Yeah.
Hindi, mamaya.
Yeah,
Porterhouse. Okay.
All right. So, okay. So, I'll tell you a quick story before we get into the episode. When we first started, when we first rebranded the Quiver Podcast, one of the first messages that we got was from Patrice,
Yes.
who was listening to us, and we've always wanted to get her into the show, and but the reason why we didn't bring her to the show was kasi we did bring her to the show, nagcha-champion tayo. So sabi namin, swerte yata to ah. So, wag muna natin siyang tawagin until it's over. So, and that's why now that her stint as our courtside reporter is now done, we can now invite her into the show. So, before we get into the proper show, I'll turn it over to Brian. Maybe for some icebreakers lang for Patrice,
course.
para just to
Yeah.
get a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah, for Patrice to fully get settled in. So let's go first for your favorites. So favorite color.
Green, obviously.
It has to be, right?
Yes.
That's so easy. Favorite class in LaSalle.
Oh my gosh. That's a good question. I like PE best because I did pickleball and then I did 3x3 basketball. So it was super fun.
Uy, nakainggit. Kasi dati, ang choices lang namin for team sports were futsal, handball, and volleyball, and basketball. So parang now,
Mm.
we're more.
Yeah,
Maka-enroll nga ulit. Just kidding. Favorite building in the campus.
Razan. I'm
Oh.
always there. Like, I literally don't, like, I think in my last 2 years, I didn't go anywhere else now. I was just there always. Yeah.
May gym na dun, di ba? Because I think before, the only gym that we had there was yung sa athletes. But now I think there's a
Din,
gold
ano,
slip
Pre,
ba or
wala nang
something?
golds yata.
Yeah,
Wala
I
nang
think
golds.
nearby.
Wala nang golds.
Wala na ba?
Oh,
Wala na siya.
Oo. My age is like backtracking kasi naalala ko
Pre,
meron and then wala na.
nakakabalik lang ako dun sa women's basketball. Kaya nalalaman ko siya.
Bagay. Favorite kainan around Taft?
oh, I like La Toca. That's fairly new. So good. Or wait, let me. Oh, there's also like a cafe that I like going to. Calia Cafe. It's like right across Southgate. Super nice. It's new also.
Have to check them out.
Yes, I recommend.
Those are like trying to remember what they look like as well. How about favorite prof?
Favorite prof? Oh my gosh. Wait. Um, I can't remember his name because like my first 2 years were like during the pandemic, so it was
So
online.
face not
I just remember he was a marketing prof and everybody really loved him. I can't like I'm getting mind block right now, but I'm sure people will know who I'm talking about. But he was like super nice, super friendly.
Yeah, maybe the listeners
Oo
can
nga.
comment the name and
Yes,
then get back to you.
yeah.
Ito, maybe this is a difficult one to pick, but you have to pick maybe maximum of two. Favorite green archer.
What? That's
You
such
can do
a
it.
wait.
You can do
No,
it.
I can't answer.
You can do it. Let's go.
Look
Let's
at
go.
Dream Archer.
Sige,
Oh no, we're
maximum of three. We can say past and present. Yeah, it's up to you really how to
in
answer.
terms of what? Like as a player or like
Wow.
as a person?
In
Those are
general, you can weigh in both. Pwedeng as a player and as a you can define. It's up to you how you would
what?
say.
I can't say. I'm like close to so many, and they're gonna get mad at me for
Kaya mo
picking.
yan,
I'm gonna.
Patrice. Kaya
I
mo yan.
think
Kahit yung
safe is
pinaka-safe.
someone
Oh,
from the
okay,
past.
okay, okay, okay.
Sige, sige.
De, ganito na
Sige.
lang. Ganito na lang. Let's keep, ganito na lang. Favorite Green Archer outside of the ones part
Yeah,
of,
okay.
under your team. Under your
Oh
team.
no, that's even harder. Outside of my team, no, I don't know any. Like honestly, like I think it's because I was like so young during their like glory days that it's like I wouldn't remember like specific players. It's more of like them as a
Okay.
whole. Wait, or maybe like this is so hard. I need like categories because I can't pick in general. Like I love all of them
maybe
equally.
maybe one per each
Oo.
category you
Oo,
can
yun na
think
lang.
of.
Okay,
And
Oh,
sum them up.
yeah.
yeah, give me a
No,
category.
okay, no, no. Favorite to have lunch with, favorite to go to the gym with, and maybe
Mhm.
favorite na pagtripan. Ganun na lang.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I haven't gone to the gym with them. Okay, but okay, let's start with lunch. Lunch, I think Earl because I feel like we have really lovely conversations and we're just two yappers and just yapping. And I love talking to him. Like our conversations are always the best and the funnest. Gym, I feel like I haven't gymmed with them. So as
But who would you want to
Yeah.
be your gym partner there? Like who is the
oh
ideal gym
Miguel
partner?
Aitona. I mean, former Green Archer siya technically.
who oh, that's a good question. Who would be a good gym? I feel like all of them would try to compete with me. The worst, I'll just change it. I'll make it the worst gym partner is probably Bright. Because every
Uh,
time he's always trying to compete against me. Like the other day, I made him try pickleball. Oh my gosh, he was trash talking me the whole time and blah blah blah. So I would pick him as the worst gym partner.
and
Yeah,
what's
and
the
then
last one favorite pagtripan?
oh
Or
my
yeah.
gosh, that's a good question. Probably EJ. Guyana because he's also just the most energetic always. And for some reason, he also is addicted to coffee. So he always just has unlimited
Wow.
energy like the whole day and
Mm.
he's like super bullet. So yeah, probably him.
Kaya pala. That's quite evident. How about
Yeah.
ikaw? Favorite lady spiker? So
Yan.
another difficult one.
No, I'll be killed by them. Like, no way. My girls, like,
Or maybe
actually,
from the past na para safe if you
from
have
the
one here.
past, hmm, I think I really well, I wasn't like super following them before, but when I look at old videos and like I know Take Aim also has like some old games. So I like seeing like Mika Reyes. I don't know, I like her swag. I love when they swag, super duper. So probably her.
Batchmate ko yan, si Mika Reyes. Yeah.
Oh,
Classmate ko pa yata twice, if I remember, and groupmates lagi.
wow.
So, shout out kay Mika if she still remembers me. So, for sure, marami siya naging ka-group and kaklase. So, tapos na yung favorite, so that we would... Ay, hindi pa pala, may one more. And maybe this is also tough for Patrice. Favorite CSR batch?
Oh no. That's a crazy question. I'm seeing them tomorrow night. I'm gonna be murdered. Oh no. Wait.
You can say nothing, but if you want to say names, okay lang din.
Well, if I was to name,
How about same categories?
Mm,
Lunch,
yeah.
gym, and
Yeah,
pagtripan.
okay,
yeah.
lunch. I would love to have lunch with Jules Israel. She was NU's courtside last season. I'm actually probably gonna have lunch with her soon. We're planning. Just because like I don't know, she just gets my vibe and like a fellow yapper also, always chit chatting. And then Jim, that's hard because nobody. Well, because like if you know me, I like weightlifting, so I don't really know if any of them do weightlifting. But then I know Carla Elizaga of UP from last season. She's a runner, so probably her. I'd probably be interested in trying running. And then the last one, hmm, I think I would say Ella Regudo from Adamson because she's also like super fun and like we always do like dumb TikToks together and stuff. So yeah.
Good picks, good picks. So, ayan. Tapos na yung favorites. Let's go to this or that. So, this is maybe easier than the
Oo.
previous one. So, the first one is free cut or FDA immunity? Like you can't fail due to absences or just having a free cut. Which would you prefer?
Free cut for sure. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
free cut.
less guilt. Like
Yeah,
you don't miss on classes, but it's
exactly.
okay. How
Hmm.
about north or south?
In terms of like Manila?
Yes, in terms of
Oh,
like
for sure south. Like I'm from the south and all the nice stuff are in the north though, which is so annoying. But
Buti
yeah,
na
I'm
lang, nasa
south.
gitna ako.
same south. Basketball or volleyball?
Ah, what?
To
Like to
play
play?
at least. Yeah,
Oh,
to
to
play.
play. I feel I'm better at basketball. So basketball.
Like how much did you play basketball before?
I played from grade 6 to grade 12, so
Tapos
quite
pala,
some time.
na-recruit namin to.
And then yeah, I stopped after high school. And I was actually the
Tapos
team
pala, na-recruit
captain
namin to.
my last year.
yeah, yeah. Vic
Bakit
could have
na-recruit ka
tapped
namin,
you, like
Patrice?
could have coach Shola. But Patrice, yeah, but I guess Patrice didn't try out. I don't know.
Yeah, because of the pandemic.
Oo, tama.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Ito, TikTok or Instagram?
Oh my gosh, wait, that's so hard. I feel like I spend more time on TikTok though. So yeah, TikTok.
Partying or staying in?
Partying for sure, for sure. Easy.
Morning person or night person?
Night for sure. I'm not a morning person. Yeah.
Struggle to wake up early.
Mm,
If not LaSalle, UP or Ateneo?
homeschool.
Yes!
Good
Yes!
answer. I like that
Yes!
answer.
Yes! Yes!
And lastly, of the icebreakers, playing sports or watching sports?
Oh my gosh. Playing. I still love playing.
Great. Yan. So now I'll give it back to Gio. Gio, I think we can
All
go
right.
first category na. Now that Patrice is
Yeah.
done.
Naka-warm
Ito na
up
din.
na.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So it's all about like the UAP history. So one of the things that I find I've been watching the UAP for several years and Vic much longer than me. Wow, tinapos si Vic under the bus, no? But no, I think one of the most impressive things to me is how your
Oo,
family
grabe.
is always there. Like,
Complete attendance eh.
as in, like, I don't know how many, yeah, like, I don't
Yes.
know how many times I, I work or study before a game, and parang a few tables away, I see your parents, I see your, but of course, I'm really zoned into what I'm doing. But so, and obviously, I think they're also big fans. So, you followed LaSalle since you were a child, diba? So, how did it all start? Do you remember the first time you watched a LaSalle game? Or like, who introduced it to you?
Yeah, like my earliest memory, I would say, was when we won, I think, the 2013 championship. Because I, if I remember correctly, I was like at a tito's house, and then they were playing it on a projector, so it was like really like big there on the screen. And as a little kid, I think I was like 11 at this time, and I just remember cheering for LaSalle, like yay! But then yeah, that's my earliest memory. Then after that, it was really a more of just like I don't think we would really watch in person, but then I would like watch with my dad and stuff. And then post pandemic, when they started allowing people to watch, that's when we were really able to go. Like I remember still watching when we were wearing masks and stuff, all the way back in like 2022. Yeah.
'Alright. So, 2013, Thomas Torres, the greatest green archer ever. Don't know. So, yun. That's my thing. So, okay. So, like, obviously, you've worked also on the basketball and the volleyball side. Like, are there other sports that you're interested in as well? Like, ako, personally, I'm interested in chess. But, like, that's me. I don't know about other people if there's
Mm,
something else you watch.
like playing. Oh, we like watching chess.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, is the question about like watching or playing?
Like for you, like are there other sports that you follow in the UAP that you watch?
Oh, no, I've been wanting to though. Like I've been wanting to watch football, but it's
Yes.
usually all the way in UP. And so
Me and
that's like
me and
impossible
Brian
for
watching
me.
UP.
But
Kami,
like
kami. Yeah.
But
pag may
yeah,
free.
Uh,
Oh,
not so much lately. But
Oh,
and
all
I
it
right.
was difficult as well because the last
sabay eh.
season,
Oo,
sabay yung
pinagsabay
basketball
na
and
siya eh.
football.
Kasi
So
dati second sem siya eh.
yeah, so for
mm,
Patrice, it's more difficult.
mhm.
Yeah, it's more difficult for Patrice. For she has to be in the
Yeah.
venue.
But one day I will. I want to for sure. Like
Yeah,
I've never actually, I don't think I've ever watched a football match ever. I just, yeah. So bucket list. Yes.
I
yeah,
see
it's
some Green
great.
Archers
Yes.
watching
Yep.
sometimes, so maybe you can tag along. Like I
True.
remember seeing
Yeah.
Ako
Henry
si
and
EJ.
Earl and
I think si
Jacob there.
EJ
So
Mm,
na
yeah.
I saw EJ in UP one time.
mm. Oh, okay. Yeah. Maybe soon,
Uh,
hopefully.
all right. Now I guess going now. So obviously you talked about sporting Lasal when you were young. I remember the 2013 championship. Um, when you were, did you ever think about attending a different college, or was DLSU always on your radar?
Hmm. That's a good question. Actually, I feel like I don't want to call it brainwash, but I don't know. Like ever since I was young, I just knew I was gonna go to LaSalle because of my dad. It's just like I was like conditioned to just be like go LaSalle, boo Ateneo, like since I was a kid. Like if you ask my classmates, because I studied in Everest International Academy from grade 1 to grade 12. So if you ask my batchmates from that time, like they will know me as the LaSallian, the green-blooded girl who never even went to LaSalle, by the way. Who she was just tagging on. She was just selling pusa like with her dad. But I remember so clearly, like I had a batchmate who's at the neon, and I just remember getting at it with him all the time, like super, super. Yeah.
uh, that I mean, that's such a great story, and like I think that's what we love about like some of like the people that represent the schools, really just how much they love it,
Mhm.
and I think you really embody that. And so since you always wanted to go to Lasal, did you aspire to be the courtside reporter, or did you want to become an athlete first? Like, ano yung plan mo of action then?
Well, actually, I wasn't planning on doing anything. Like, I didn't think I was gonna pursue like basketball, collegiate level. And I literally like courtside was an idea planted in my head by my friends. Like, I never thought of it myself. Like, I have a family friend. His name is Chio, and he would watch the games with us, like season 84 onwards. And he was just like, "Why don't you be courtside?" And at that point, I'd never thought about it, like ever. So and then once the idea was planted in my head and I would see like the courtside report, I'd be like, that seems like a fun job. And as much and it's also like I'm a fan too of the Green Archers. So imagine I remember telling my sisters too that I was like, I'm too scared to do it. Like I don't want to be that close to the players. Like I'm their fan. Like what the heck? But then yeah. Then I ended up trying it out. Like I ended up just I remember I saw the UAAP posted like auditions are open. And so I just like it was just a shot in the dark. I was like, okay, let's like see if I get this, then amazing. But if not, then it's whatever. But then I ended up like getting as far as like the cutoff and then the face to face auditions. I was like, I can't believe I'm here. Like it was super surreal. Like yeah.
Uh, yeah, can you talk us through that entire process of how you walk through you wanted to become a courtside reporter? I mean, I'm curious kasi back in my time, I also wanted to be a courtside reporter, but
Saan ka
like,
mag-courtside
but
reporter?
there were like, hindi kasi yung batchmates ko, no, no, okay. The reason why hindi ko tinuloy was
Mhm.
because the boys were given to a different UAP school.
Yeah, sometimes yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I had two batchmates na boys. They went to Adamson and one more school yata.
Oh.
So ayoko yun. I only wanted to represent Lasal eh. So sabi ko,
Hmm.
ay wag na.
Hmm.
So anyway, what was the process like for you?
Well, yeah, so it changes every season, so it's not really fixed like the process. But then like relatively it's like you submit like what I did, I submitted a video, like a headshot of like introducing myself and why I wanted to be courtside. I actually still have the videos on my phone. Like sometimes I see it and it's like it's crazy. Then after that, like face to face auditions and they really like you really practice being like courtside. It's like right there. Like you go and like show literally what you've got like in front of them and all. And then after that, so the experience for me it was like I think I only realized how much I really wanted it when I was done with the auditions. When it was done, I was like, shoot, I actually really want this. Like, I really want to be the courtside. And then I think when I heard from them, when I got the results, I was actually alone in the house, and I was like running around the house and like crying, and like nobody was there, and I had to like call my family and blah blah blah. But it was like crazy. And then also like what you were just talking about, Gio, like we didn't know what school we were assigned
Mm.
to that time back in season 86. So when we were called to do the workshop, I was so nervous. I was like, please be this out, please be this out. Like I was like, by the time all the girls arrived, I was like trying to see like, oh, what school are you from? What school are you from? Because if there was
Yes.
two girls from LaSalle, I would have like, dude, I would have one on one on the spot. Like, I would have fought for that plot. Like, no, I need to be LaSalle. Like, I was even telling my family, I was like, if I'm not LaSalle, like, I don't think I can do it, and blah blah blah. But then yeah, then they flashed it. I remember they flashed our names on the screen and the school that we were at. Then when I saw the green, I was like, oh, thank you, Lord. And then yeah, so then yeah, that's how I got it. That's pretty much the process.
Ay, Diyos ko, grabe.
Okay.
It was a it was a funny story na
Tama.
nag-casting siya, no? Na pagka mayroong dalawang nasa lista, awayan niya talaga, no? Para sa kanya yung lasal. So,
Yeah.
I think Patrice, next question
Yes.
is, meron ka bang,
Mhm.
did you try to emulate or idolize a media personality as, paano ba to? Even before thinking of going into this CSR thing, parang meron ka na bang favorite na newscaster or yung parang na if I get this job, 'di ba? Parang
The
talk
talk
show host
show.
na if I get this gig, I'll try to do like this. Parang ganun.
That's a good question. But, actually, it was really hard for me to find clips on YouTube of like courtside reporters. Like, I really had a hard time with that. But then, um, she's actually a producer, if I'm not mistaken, now for the UAAP. She used to be a courtside
Mm-hmm.
reporter, Yani Mayo. And I actually worked with her. Like, she would upload like YouTube videos and like helpful tips about like what it's like to be courtside. So that super helped me. And then also, I think at some point I was able to find like some clips because I feel like it's not the one like a rule or anything, but it's like your um most reliable role model is definitely the one that just came before you, like the courtside reporter that just came before you. So of course I had Kyla Kingsu there for me, and like I saw how she would report, like, and then yeah, I was able to find like some of the old games on, thankfully it's on Filipinos Live. Shout out, shout out. Um, but then then yeah, so I would see her reports and kind of get an idea. But I would also look at Julia Vargas and Carla Elizaga, because she also did a season before me. So it was really like I just wanted to get as recent of an example as possible. So I would really look to them and like look at the content of the reports, the delivery and stuff. Then yeah.
Next question, Patrice. Ako, ano to medyo ano sa akin na. How do you may difference ba on how you prepare your reports if it's an elimination round game, if it's a final four game, or for example, even if elimination round lang na medyo big game like um Ateneo Lasal or for example Lasal UP on this recent memory or even in the finals, meron ba or it's just another game to you pagka when you do your reports when you prepare?
No, yeah, it's definitely different. Like, um, for elimination, especially round one, especially if there's like new players, I kind of try to introduce them, their background, since the panel doesn't really know about them yet. And then round two is more of like their learnings from round one. And then when it gets to like semifinals and finals, that's when the reports kind of become more like serious in a way and deeper. Like you kind of have to dig deeper in terms of like their emotions and experiences and everything that has led them to get there. um and then yeah, like especially, well, in my experience with three finals under my belt, like I've noticed you cannot hear anything during the games. It's so loud. Like you can't even hear the huddles. So it's like I'm not getting anything from there. So I turn to like my baon reports that I have on the players. And then yeah, like what you said, like for big games also, like it's I try to focus on like human interest, like that side. And yeah, sometimes save my really interesting reports for bigger games so that like more people will be like, oh, like this player actually blah blah blah. But then yeah, so for finals it's really like the more sentimental type, and it's like it's very the emotional like stakes are just so high that it's like you kind of have to um you I kind of want the audience to understand how serious this is for like the student athlete. So it's like my it's more like who got vibes. So yeah.
Yeah, so nabanggit ni Patrice, she had 3 finals under her belt. So a lot of memories there, diba? Winning once, losing twice, all that.
Mhm.
What's your most memorable interview as a
Oh my
DLS
god.
courtside?
I've had so many. That's okay. But like off the top of my head, this was so funny. This is a funny story. So this was the day before finals game 3 of season 87. So this was last December. The day before the Green Archers trained in Araneta, and so at this point you know like with certainty this is the last training. Like I don't know, it was like that feeling. I just like seeing their faces and seeing them train, and I don't know that you could just feel it was such an emotionally charged atmosphere. And you know me, like I'm just like I'm the only girl, and it's like so I think the last two people I interviewed was Coach Topex and then Kevin. Okay, so so then Coach Topex like I was really sad, but then like no tears fell. Like I was really sad, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is our last interview. But then for some reason, when I get to Kevin, who okay, like he's a very like nonchalant person, like he's a chill guy. When it got to our interview, like I'm not even like super duper duper close to him, right? Like when it got to our interview, he just started talking about how it's gonna be our last game together. I don't know what hit me. Like I just started like crying, and it was just me and him in the dugout. Okay, so I started crying, and then like he didn't know what to do. He just like pat me in the back. He's like, "Don't cry." And that's the funniest and the best moment I've ever had with him because like he literally did not know how to comfort me, but he still tried at least, and it was a really really good, really beautiful interview. And I got really sad because yeah, it really dawned on me like also like I knew that he was gonna go abroad, so it's like I'm not gonna see him anymore. Like this is really the super duper duper last. So yeah, that's probably the most memorable one that I have off the top of my head.
How about volleyball? Para lang meron basketball and then volleyball.
Volleyball. Oh no. These were sad because like I would tell them like, oh, I don't want this to be our last interview, and then it would be. And so let me think. What are my memorable? That's hard because like every time, it's always super memorable because like you know how girls are like after the interview's done, like you're still gonna chat. Let me think. Let me try to remember. Probably there's a time I think I interviewed Jules Tolentino and Aaliyah Malaluan, like at the same time. You know them, they're like besties, so it's like package deal. And then so we were in the lounge in Rizon, and then after that, once I stopped recording, it was just like, oh my god, like what's happening with you? And then blah, 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 like super duper chica session, and it was really fun. And there's also like other times with the girls that it's like literally like a therapy session. Sometimes they'll cry, sometimes I'll cry, and then yeah, it's just a lot of so many different like moments with the girls. So yeah.
And then let's go something a bit deeper. So
Mhm.
maybe what's something people don't realize about being a courtside reporter, especially a LaSalle courtside reporter, which I know now. You get a lot of exposure with the games. And there are a lot of games when you play, when you watch LaSalle. So what something you don't
Ooh.
realize, people don't realize, like us, like we don't realize about being a courtside reporter for the school.
Oh my gosh, that's a good question. Wait, I'm gonna have to think about that. What if something people don't realize? Hmm. Probably this is so hard. Wait, let me think. Um, I think it's just that like it's so easy to become emotionally invested in the teams. Like almost it's like scarily easy. Like when you're courtside, that's something that like I didn't realize. Like every win, every loss, like you feel so deeply because like I mean you're with them behind the scenes, and so obviously like I feel like winning the championship in my first term and then like not even making it to the finals in my second, it really like opened my eyes that it's like wins and losses happen like, and that it's not the end of the world too, because that's something that also went through my head like in our last game last Wednesday. As soon as the confetti started flying, I was like, oh, it's deja vu from last term. But it's like, like the world is so much bigger than that, and it's as much as it's such a once in a lifetime experience, it's like you don't want to really read into it and be like, oh, this is life or death. Like if I lose this game, it's going to be over for me. But yeah, I think that's one thing that people don't realize. Another thing is you as a courtside, another thing is they expect courtside. Okay, I in fairness, I've played basketball, I've played volleyball. I have fair share, like I have pretty good knowledge about both sports. But I would see comments kasi saying like, oh, I wish courtsides knew more about the sport. But then they don't realize that that's not our job. Like my job is primarily to talk about the athletes and connect them to the audience. I'm not here to analyze the game. I'm not here to describe what's happening. Actually, there are two people already there, the anchor and the analyst. And then I'm the court side. So it's like that's something that a lot of people fail to realize. Like, okay, yes, you're supposed to have knowledge of the sport. You're supposed to understand what's going on the floor, but that's not what you're gonna be talking about. You really focus on like what did coach say in the huddle, that like more on the emotional side, not the game plan, or like what is this player's like pregame ritual, stuff like that. So that's another thing that I feel like that's a misconception about court and reporters. It's definitely good to have knowledge about the sport, but it's not that's not our scope of work. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good insight kasi 'di ba? Sometimes when people watch, we see it even online comments. So that's a good way to explain it from
Ako, Bri,
Patrice.
Mm.
actually, sige,
And
sige.
then
Sige,
Singit ko lang,
sige, sige, go ahead.
Mm.
singit ko lang, Brian, na I don't think Patrice has no knowledge kasi she
Naka
was
na.
listening to us.
Naka.
True. Yes.
true, true. So na-feed siya,
Yes.
na-enhance. Like she already has it, but she can remember going to Araneta from the south. It's
Yeah.
like new for her, so it would help.
Yeah.
Another question
We're,
is,
we're, we're glad we contributed 2% of your knowledge.
yes,
Yes, of
or maybe
course.
even 1%. We're
Maybe
happy there.
1%. Yeah, okay na
Yeah.
yun. Okay na yun.
Yes.
So so I want let's ask Patrice, like obviously this past 2 seasons colorful
Mhm.
for her, a lot of events, basketball and volleyball. In the team, and you can name as many players as you want here. If not everyone, but syempre, maganda if you can highlight maybe one or two. Sinong athlete yung nakitaan mo ng growth, either they play the sport or even off the court, like their personality, like or maybe warmed up. So yung growth niya as a person, both as a player and as a person, would you tag as that player for both the basketball and volleyball teams?
That's a good question. So, okay, we can start with basketball. I feel like in the 2 seasons, one of the ones that I witnessed undergo the most growth would definitely be Mike Phillips, because I feel like he came from season 86 champion and all that. Then season 87 he became captain. His older brother graduated, and so and I just know also like it's a known fact that he's very close to his brothers, and so that transition for sure wasn't easy for him. And he also like opened up about like how hard like the off season was for him with like injuries and stuff. So it was like a matter of working through that. Then um carrying this whole team, and also like yourself and your own performance and like trying to defend the crown. But then I feel like for me like he did a very good job at leading the team as alongside like Josh David. But I feel like also I noticed like changes in his own character, like, and I'm gonna connect this also to another person in volleyball who kind of went through the same thing where it's like season 86, and all of a sudden season 87, like you become captain, which is Angel. And so it was really such a blessing and a privilege to witness how they both kind of grew into their roles, adjusted, and like really like improved their own characters like throughout the season. It's really so beautiful to see. Like for example, like Angel like talked about how like she never realized how much weight her words held. Like compared to season 86, like she would just say whatever. But then season 87 it's like you have to be more careful with what you say because it's not something that the team takes lightly. And so I would see so much like of her efforts in like trying to say the right thing to the team, and just like really like her effort in getting the team together like behind the scenes is really like commendable. I would say like she would always like gather them, like whether it was in the middle of training or like during lunch or like later in the day, like they'd have team bonding all the time. Like I feel like that's super underrated and not really seen. And then I think another person that showed a lot of growth, and I'm also so excited for him like this upcoming season 88, is Earl. Because like imagine like season 86 like he won the championship, and then season 87 you're like so excited, you're so hyped, and then all of a sudden it's like a season ending injury for him. Like that was so hard, and that like really broke my heart like seeing him. But then at the same time it was like wow, like what an inspiration, truly. Like the way that he was able to turn it around and say like God was doing something with him, something like there's something greater and bigger plan for him. Oh my gosh, I'm getting emotional also like just remembering it, and then seeing the kind of person that he is now, like the way that he carries himself and the way, I don't know, it's like it's really nice to see like how everybody kind of, I mean, I'm like you said, I'm not gonna name all of the athletes, but everybody just kind of had their own redemption arc, and that doesn't mean like they won a championship or anything, but their own personal characters. They like grew in so many different ways. Also, Shavana, I can't go without saying Shavana because she also like how do you say this, like she put so much effort also to help Angel, and that was really her goal, to just back her up and everything. And like I'm sure you know also, like she hasn't been playing volleyball all her life, like she just started a couple of years ago. And yeah, she obviously is the epitome of growth, but also like more than just an athlete, also as a person. Like she's always remained like she's such a strong player. She won best opposite, but she's so humble, the most down to earth gentle giant ever. Like and like her growth also in becoming a leadership figure for her team and shouldering some of that burden like for Angel, super beautiful also to witness. So yeah.
Yan. Sige, next. Sige.
Really,
Oo, grabe
really
yun.
long list.
Hindi, pero
Tama
maganda,
naman, I
maganda.
agree
Ah.
with
Yeah, super
all the
long.
picks. Pero
Yes.
special
Oh,
shout out
no.
kay Earl kasi sabi ni Earl when he said here, sabi niya, he's ready to be a kuya to those who are here in Taft and to those who are about to come, whoever they are.
Ay, kung sino yung mga dadating pa dyan. Ano?
Oh my god.
He,
Yes.
he's ready to be a pre.
He can be a friend to the others.
Oh my god.
But, but I want to talk about Earl very quickly, right?
Mhm.
Like if we talk about the entire final series in our basketball finals, everyone was saying the UP had all these injuries. You never played the full strength. They never played us full strength. We didn't have Earl in the finals, and
Yeah.
he's such a big cog because even in the
Mm.
3x3, right? Like when he was brought in, suddenly the champion ties a three by
Yeah,
three.
that's true. You're
So
right, actually.
I think it's like a lot of people just really forget that a little bit of just because he's not a big name guy, it doesn't mean
Mhm.
he doesn't perform, and he does right 6, 8, 10 points a game, very quietly,
Yes,
And the
but then
defense
ano
as
siya,
well.
two-way,
Yeah.
two-way
Depends
player
defense,
on
si
the
Earl. I
opponent.
mean, he plays offense and guards the
absolutely.
best wing or guard guy on the opposing team.
Mhm.
We really missed him
Yeah.
nung finals talaga. Definitely.
Yeah. He also
Or
super. Actually, like my dad even told him the other day, like you were the
Talaga.
missing link
True.
in the final. So which is crazy because like that's exactly what you guys were just saying. So yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Ayan, sige, ito,
Or
pang
all
ano
right,
to, pang
uh
ano, Miss
very
Universe.
good.
De, de, ako yung
I
magtatanong.
know.
What are your realizations after your CSR stint ano yung mga ano mo, Patrice, discoveries mo na hindi mo na-realize on yourself dati before you before you took this CSR gig, and then after na I am this person pala.
Mm. Ooh, that's a that's a great question. I think one thing that I realized is that like I really like my personality, I really value the quality of relationship rather than the quantity. And that means like building a good relationship is so important to me. I just feel so fulfilled when I'm able to, um just take those higher steps and just get closer to a person. Like, oh, they'll open up to me. Oh, they'll say this. Like, I didn't realize how much of a people person that I am until I became courtside. Like, I super thrived in just building friendships and relationships and just getting to know so many of these athletes and coaches. I really, really enjoyed. Like, there's never a moment where I felt drained. Like, there would be days sometimes where it's like I spend the whole day like 4 interviews, like 30 minutes of just like, meeting new athletes and stuff. But then after, I'd feel so fulfilled after. And so, yeah, that's one thing I realized about myself. Another thing is, um, I guess I just super enjoyed like learning new things. Like, I think that's also something that comes with my personality. uh I've never really had a specific niche. Like, I never really knew like, oh, I want to be this or I want to study this. Like, it's very vague and general. Like, I would always cite like that saying like, uh a jack of all trades is a master of none. But then there's another line that says like, but oftentimes better than a master of one, which is something that I also realized. It's like, it's definitely good to have a lot of like skills and like different kinds of skills to be able, because like as courtside you're juggling so many things. Like, oh my gosh, like writing reports, making reports in the first place, getting close to the athletes, and just being on your toes all the time. And so that requires like a lot of different abilities. And so, that's when I realized like, oh yeah, it's really a strength to be versatile and flexible. um and not to panic and just be super. And I also realized, yeah, like speaking of not panicking, like definitely like on the more spiritual side, like turning to prayer and turning to God, especially in such a high pressure environment, saved me, super saved me. And it also made me realize, like I said earlier, like winning and losing, it's not the end of the world. Like, God has a bigger plan, and it's like there are better things ahead for us. And it's like, it's so sad in the moment, but it's like I know that God's got us, like Earl would say. So yeah.
So I
Inspiring
really like
words.
what yeah. No, I really like what you said about that. Unfortunately for me, Vic and Brian, winning or losing is everything. So when my God,
God,
when we lost that
why
finals,
have you
my God,
forsaken
you
us?
you have no idea. Why you have no
No, but
idea.
it's part of the plan.
Yes,
Part of
Brian,
the
Yeah.
part of the
plan.
plan, part of
It's
the
part of
plan.
the
Oh yeah,
plan.
that's
Yeah.
super
There's a
valid
plan.
though. Like, I even asked my dad. I was like talking to my dad about it. I was like, Dad, why would he allow it? It's so unfair. Like, I know in my heart like they deserved it more and stuff like that, but then, you know, whatever he takes away, he'll give
Yes,
back
yes,
tenfold. So I'm just
agree.
trusting his dad.
God will
So
give
yeah,
back.
send
What?
me
Patrice,
fire.
God
Come
will
on.
give back. We'll never know. It will start at midnight.
Yeah.
We'll never know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes if you're hungry, you
We'll
get a
never
Yeah.
know.
porterhouse, right?
Malay
So
natin, mamayang gabi,
Oh
andyan
my
na. Andyan
gosh.
na yung mga biyaya.
It's crazy. But yeah.
All right, and I think before we go to our last set of questions for Patrice, I really like what you said about like just being a master of none, like being a jack of all trades. I think that's what a lot of people actually kind of forget nowadays, and we're really excited to see where this will take you, right? I'll give you an example, right? In this entire history of this show, we've only interviewed one other courtside reporter.
Mm,
And yeah, we've only interviewed one. I don't know if you remember, Vic. It was Ina.
Ina ang
It
Shako,
was
right?
Ina. I
Mm.
forget her fan. Yeah, it was Inong Shako. Yeah, in the 2013 championship, she was the courtside reporter in the 2013 championship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and obviously, like if you get into courtside reporting, everyone's gonna think, oh, hey, you're gonna end up in the media. She's a lawyer now, and no, she's a mom of a beautiful kid now.
Wow.
So yeah, so it's really amazing. So ikaw, what's your plan, or what where do you think is you're gonna go right after this?
Oh my gosh. People always ask me this, and I'm always like, well, um, I'm definitely like super open-minded to staying in like sports media because I feel like I'm not gonna enjoy anything as much as as much as I've enjoyed being courtside. But then I also like I'm also curious about because my course is interdisciplinary business studies. And like I said, very general, very like so I'm thinking of maybe, testing the waters and seeing how I like it. But I'm also like open to, sports still the sports world. So those are like my two options right now. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're not sure where things will lead you. Eh? Like, kunwari, I studied film in college. I'm not a filmmaker. I'm the
Oh,
farthest thing from a filmmaker.
Gio,
but it's
Gio,
pretty
you have an
close,
actor
like
already, Gio.
podcast.
You have an actor in Willie. Willie, Willie,
No,
he really
no,
wants to do
yeah, no, no.
acting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. I do math
Me
all
too, me
days.
too, yes.
That's my
We
job
do
now.
math
So
on.
it's like an layo eh. So yeah. So yun nga, like it's okay. Like no pressure, and obviously like we'll be very happy. Are you still gonna watch the games? Are we gonna see the whole Dabao clan in the
That's
games pa
what
rin?
I've been saying since the start. Like, this is not goodbye. Hello. Like, I've been here. I'm never gonna leave. I'm gonna be at most of the games, probably on the weekend ones. But then, yeah, like this is like my family's way of bonding and having fun with each other. Like, what a fun way, right? And it's like LaSalle all the way. Like, I'm gonna support until I die.
Sabi
Like
nga
what
ni
I said.
Patrice
Like, it's
kanina
really
eh,
not
it's either
goodbye. Like, and
Lasal
I
or
will see you guys.
homeschool eh. Kayo talaga oh. Lasal or homeschool eh.
Exactly.
Oh.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, and it's a great way to meet friends. Like honestly, you know how Vic and I became friends? Because we were watching Lasal during the times kulelat kami, like seventh
Yeah, the
place,
dark ages
sixth
when
place,
LaSalle
and
was
then
not in the final four. Alam mo yun, di ba, horror story yun before, di ba? Like, sinisa pa nga yung
yeah,
11 eh. Like, I remember before I was 111, they were blaming 109 and 111 for not making the final four. So, parang, huh,
I'm the
yeah,
I am
tough
the
luck.
luckiest
Wow.
one on this group because I came in and won 3 straight championships during my time.
Wow.
Gio, si
Si
Gio yung
Gio yung
pinakamalas eh.
pinakamalas.
Kasi throughout his college days.
Oh my
Ano
god.
nangyari nung throughout ng college
Wala
days mo, Gio?
nangyari.
5 feet
Wala
ba?
nangyari nun. Wala
That
nung
five
did
feet,
not
UAAP.
five
happen.
feet,
Wala nung
five
UAAP.
feet.
Cancel. Cancel kay Gio lahat.
It's
Fi-
erased. Erased.
Cancel kay Gio lahat.
Yeah, but fortunately for our batch, nag-champion naman no 2013. So may redemption. But not as
Ako
much
Yes.
as
I've
the
seen
one.
I've seen the
Oh,
roller
yes.
coasters. Finals noong 90s na hindi ka manalo.
yeah,
You'd think of are we going to win one? Yun, andun eh kasi you lost 4 straight finals eh. So parang are you gonna get over the hump? And then
Oh.
the next thing you won 4 straight. And then you lost again in 2002 and then yun nga
Mm.
yung up and down na we won in 04 then we won in 07 and then Ateneo won 5 straight. So it's a nice ano siya talaga.
Did that
Oo nga
happen?
pala, cancelled nga pala UAAP nun. Ang next na calendar ko na 2013 eh. After
Yeah, yeah.
2007, 2013 na eh.
Yes,
Wala yung
2007.
2008 saka 2012. Wala.
And
Wala
then
sa akin yun eh.
2016.
Oh.
And then 2023.
Yun, di. Patrice, so, doon kami
so
nagkakilala
I
din eventually, this group. Because of the
Mm.
games din kami
yeah.
Wow.
nagkakilala eventually. Yun siya.
Yeah, and of course there was a time na if you play NU pre-SM days, talagang it was literally just
Yes.
me, Vic, and a
Oo.
couple of guys.
Bilang mo
Ganon.
Really?
bilang mo yung nanonood.
Yeah, it was that.
And the
Yeah,
animal
yeah.
squad.
And the animal
Sila
squad.
lang. And then the animal squad.
Yeah,
When was that? Like when was their pre-SM
Uh,
days?
before
that must have
08,
been around
before
Before
2008.
20,
2009.
before 20, yeah.
Oh,
Wow. Oh my god. I was
sina Edwin
6 years old.
Asoro.
That's crazy.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, we have. Well, there's one. I have one more question for you,
Mhm.
Patrice. So we talk about like legacies in LaSalle, and I know it's a very heavy word for somebody, but is there like a sisterhood of CSRs? I know you talked that Kyla helped you, but are there like did Sina Bea come in? Did Sina and Eileen come in to help you, and or how are you gonna pay it forward? How do you want to be remembered? I guess is my question.
Oh, I love that question. Well, for me personally, like I hope that everybody knows that like I was the courtside that was like friends with everybody. Like I didn't have any enemies, whether you're not from LaSalle, like I'm still gonna like be friendly. You know what I mean? And like I will still help. Like as the nice part also about the fact that I was a second year was that I got to be the ate to the first year courtside reporters, and I really think that I fit into that role so well just because I am also an ate to my younger sisters. We're four girls and one boy. I'm not the eldest, but I'm the second. I'm pretty much treated also like the eldest because of my personality, but like I just love being able to help my sisters out in any way, and that translates also in me being courtside. Like a lot of the first years would ask me, and I'm like, oh, I will give them everything. Like you can read my reports, you could whatever questions you have. Like I am here for you, and that's the kind of legacy also that I want to leave behind. That it's like you could literally DM me. Like you could 5 seasons from now, you could DM me. You could be a courtside reporter, and you could ask me for help, and I will help you. Like I don't know. I feel like I find there's a lot of fulfillment and joy in being able to like help girls that were in the same position as you because I've been there. I've had that same feeling of like not the one helplessness, but it's more of like you're kind of thrown into this with not knowing what to expect or what to do. Like I remember my first game back in season 86, I was like pilot mode. Like I had no idea what was going on. I was like completely like dazed. Like and so as much as like it's not a competition for sure. Like that's not what I want to promote at all. Like I want to see these girls like in the future, all the future courtside reporters like thrive on TV and really shine the light on their teams and do their teams justice. Also, that's really it's so nice to see. Like my fellow courtside reporters delivering like good, heartwarming reports. And yeah, so that's the legacy that I want to leave behind. That it's like I was a courtside reporter, friends with super close to her teams, love them with all her heart, became part of their family for a bit, and also am approachable and friendly and I will help you if you need me to. So yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
really
that's
nice to hear. And of course, we before we fully wrap up the show, parang ano to eh, like when you have your interviews with players, diba, after the games,
Mm-hmm.
always ask them for greetings. So now it's your time to greet everyone you have in mind.
Aw, I love
Invite to
that.
listen to the show and any other things that you want to invite them. Feel free. This is yours,
Yes.
please.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for this opportunity. At this point I'm so sure like you guys are going to upload this full thing, right? Like oh yeah, so my parents are going to watch. Hi mom, hi dad, and probably my siblings. So that my dad's Tito Louie, Tito Nani, and my siblings Celine, Lucia, Mariana, Joseph, and my dog who's down here, Toby. I can show him. I can show him. Toby! There!
Oh. behave,
Yes,
behave siya like not noisy during
yeah.
the
Yeah, he
show.
wasn't noisy. I was gonna like apologize if he barked or something, but then yeah. Who else would I give a shout out to? My best friend Andy and Chime and my DLSU Sports. Shout out to DLSU Sports because I'm actually a member. If you guys didn't know, so I'm part of the social media team. So shout out to the Sockman department and Kiana and Kirst also from DLSU Sports. And shout out to LaSalle. I love you with my whole heart, and my heart bleeds green, and I'm probably the most green-blooded girl ever. Yes. What else?
Can see
Shout
it
out to
from the room pa
God.
lang. Yeah, it's super green.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes. Literally, the walls are green. I don't know if you can see. I'm wearing a green top as well. But yeah, shout out to God, my number one, always. Live Jesus in our hearts forever. That's all. Thank you.
All right. Okay. So thank you for joining us, Patrice. It's been an absolute pleasure. We're so happy to have you on board. We're so happy to finally get you in. And thank you for being one of our avid listeners in this podcast. So, Brian, do we have time to talk about our sponsors? We might forget about because there's only one blue that we like, Patrice. It's called Blue Fire. So, it's the only blue we like. They're an LPG company.
Wow.
So we're good. That's the only blue that's right for
Yeah,
us.
that's fine. I think that's fine.
All right. So we're missing a couple of sponsors as well. So we'd just like to thank as well Sabi Skincare for your skincare needs. Please consider Sabi Skincare as well. Ibarra watches. We have given away that green Trofeo watch and Fletcher. So thank you guys for sponsoring um, the Quiver, and we're just and hopefully more episodes coming up. We have the Philoy has just started, and after Philoy, ano na naman, UAAP na naman. Very curious how UAP is gonna happen as a newly married person. Let's see. So ano, yeah. So thank you for listening to the Quiver. Thank you, Patrice, for joining us. And as we always say, animo, lasal.
Lasal.
Yay.